Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is August 12th, 2025, and Barcelona have met with Toni Fernandez in order to discuss the plans for his future. Also, Barcelona are set to get some money out of two players that are going to be transferred and where the club still own a percentage of the rights of those players. And finally, Liverpool could try to sign Ronald Araujo. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. By the way, I'm still sick and my nose will not stop dripping. So I do apologize if you see something coming out of my nose. I know it's gross, I apologize. It took me so long to film the first video because I had to keep pausing to blow my nose and sneeze. So please, I apologize in advance if there's anything gross that happens on the video, but I need to get through it in order to bring you all the Barcelona news. All right, let's begin with the first bit of news because it's been revealed that Barcelona are set to launch their third kit, the third 2025-2026 kit, the next week. And it's going to look like this. It's going to be orange with a blue trim. And it's based kind of on that Total 90 design in the mid-2000s. If you guys remember the Total 90, it was actually one of my favorite shoes back then. It was a really, really cool design. So this is kind of like a throwback to the Total 90. And Nike will have all of their elite teams share the same exact template for their third kits. In other words, Nike has run out of ideas. Not only are they recycling old ideas, but they're also using the same old idea for all their teams. So good job, Nike. But expect this third kit to be launched next week. And of course, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. What do you think about this third kit? I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. For me, so far, the away kit, the Kobe Bryant collaboration to me is my favorite. It's the one I bought. I bought Gabi's number 6, and now it's on its way. It's in the mail. I can't wait to get it. Once I get it, I'll probably wear it for a video because it's absolutely amazing. Anyways, on to the next bit of news because Barcelona have met with Toni Fernandez in order to discuss or to lay out the roadmap for his immediate future. Now, the 17-year-old attacker is someone that Hansi Flick admires. In fact, Flick called him up last summer to the preseason tour in the U.S. This summer, he called him up again to the preseason tour, but this time in Asia. And now the club have met with Toni in order to express to him their full confidence in the player and his skills, and in order to express to him that Flick is very pleased with his performance. And of course, the club laid out the roadmap for Toni Fernandez, where the club want him to play for Barca Athletic, to be a pillar of the Barca Athletic project, a project that will seek to get Barca Athletic promoted back to 3rd division from 4th division. And this will, of course, serve as a chance for Toni Fernandez to get promoted to the first team. Because again, Flick is very impressed with the youngster and will be tracking his performance with the chance of the player even getting promoted this season, not even having to wait until the next season. Now, Toni Fernandez is reportedly not entertaining any offers from any other clubs, and he has told the club that he is fully committed on following this roadmap and into earning a spot under Hansi Flick. Now, speaking of a player that might not be staying for too long or might not be committed to staying for too long, we got to talk about, of course, Dani Rodriguez, the 20-year-old winger who Flick was also tracking when he was at Barca Athletic. In fact, Flick gave him his debut with the first team towards the end of last season, but unfortunately he suffered a shoulder injury. And even though Flick had told Dani Rodriguez that he wanted him to travel with the team to the preseason, because of this shoulder injury, Dani Rodriguez was not able to travel with the team. And now that Barcelona have signed two more wingers, Rooney Bargi and Marcus Rashford, it's reported that the player is now considering his future. Because, of course, Barcelona do want him to stay and play with Barca Athletic because Giuliano Belletti wants Dani Rodriguez as part of his team. Hansi Flick wants to continue tracking the progress of Dani Rodriguez. But of course, at 20 years old, Dani Rodriguez is reluctant to play in 4th division, especially since he has been receiving offers from 2nd division teams in Spain and also from 1st division teams abroad. So far, Dani Rodriguez has not decided to leave, but he is contemplating leaving. Of course, his agent is Pini Zahabi, a very close friend of Jean Laporta. And Barcelona are going to have to either convince Dani to stay, or if they do decide to let him leave, they're going to have to decide whether he leaves on loan or on permanent transfer. In my opinion, the best thing would be to send him on loan, see how he does next season. And if he does great, bring him back. And if not, you can go ahead and sell him. And speaking of wingers, we got to talk about a Real Betis winger, someone who played at Barcelona, no other than Abde, because it's reported that Roma are interested in signing the 23-year-old left winger, someone that Barcelona offloaded to Real Betis for 7.5 million euros while retaining 50% of his rights, but they eventually gave up 30% of those rights in exchange for Real Betis allowing Vitor Roque to be released early and be sold to Palmeiras. A bad deal on top of another bad deal. Well, the news now is that Roma are looking to sign Abde and that they're willing to shell out 20 million euros for the Moroccan attacker. I don't know why. I don't think he's worth that, but hey, none of my business. And of course, this would be helpful for Barcelona because Barcelona still retain 20% of the rights of the player. So if Roma do end up signing Abde for 20 million, Barcelona would receive 4 million euros, which might not sound like a lot, but of course, given the club situation, every euro counts. And just to think, had we not made that terrible Vitor Roque signing and that terrible Vitor Roque transfer, this could have been 10 million instead of 4. But anyways, good job, Deco. Now, speaking of players that Barcelona still maintain rights in, let's talk about Alex Collado. If you don't remember who Alex Collado is, he's a 26-year-old attacker, someone who looked very promising with Barca Athletic, but failed to break into the first team under Koeman and under Xavi Hernandez. So eventually, Barcelona transferred him to Real Betis. And now it's reported that Alex Collado has been transferred to Al Shamal. In fact, we talked about this in a previous video. Al Shamal has decided to pay 2.5 million euros to Real Betis for Alex Collado. And of course, Barcelona own 20% of the rights in the player. So that means 500,000 euros to Barcelona. Now, this transfer happened, or this agreement was reached back in June. But the reason we're talking about it now is because they just processed this. Real Betis just presented all the official paperwork. They had to register the player first, then they presented all the paperwork, and now it just got officially processed. So now Barcelona will officially receive their 500,000 euros, which again, might not sound like a lot of money, but given the club situation, every euro counts. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Liverpool might be coming after Ronald Araujo. Now, Liverpool are currently in negotiations with Konate. They're trying to extend his contract. He has 1 year left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken. But so far, Konate is not renewing because Real Madrid have entered the race for him. It seems like Real Madrid are very interested in signing him. They're even willing to pay his release clause. So if this does happen, if Real Madrid does pay the release clause of Konate and they take him this summer, then it's reported that Arne Slot has requested from Liverpool's upper management that they sign Ronald Araujo, whether it be this summer or even next summer, in order to replace Konate. Again, if Konate decides to leave to Real Madrid. And of course, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think about this? I think if it happens next summer, that would be obviously a better option. I still would like to see how will Araujo do this season under Flick. If he ends up working out great, then amazing. We got a great center back. And if not, who knows? Maybe next summer, Liverpool would be a good option to transfer Araujo to. All right, that is all the news for this video. I did upload another video before this one. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Biscarsa.